So I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to model cars in Blender from scratch. Now this video is going to be sort of like an introduction to car modeling. I don't want this video to be 7 hours long. I just want to give you guys what you're going to need to get you started so you can make a good part of the car yourself. And then once you got the basics down, once you start modeling the car, then you're going to have to go through the smaller details as you go. So if you find this video helpful, then just let me know down in the comments what we should discuss in the next video. And also if you guys want to see my full Aston Martin modeling course, I'm pre-releasing those episodes on Patreon at the moment, so you can go check that out. There's a link in the description. You can also ask me a question so I can help you out with something. Anyway, I'm gonna shut the fuck up now and quit wasting time with an intro, so let's start the video. So the first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to hit Google Images and get yourself a blueprint. On Google Images, you're going to type in whatever car you're modeling plus blueprint. So in this case, I'm working on an Aston Martin DBS Superleggera. So I'm going to type in Aston Martin DBS Superleggera blueprint. Most of the blueprints you're going to find here are going to be shit, but every once in a while, you're going to find some that are going to be pretty good. So for example, if you click on the first one here, it's not a bad resolution. You can get the full resolution image if you go to this website, theblueprints.com, and you pay like 17 bucks. But I know most of you probably don't want to do that. So we're just going to right click, save image as, save it to your computer. You probably want to make a new folder for this project. And then if the watermarks on this image are bothering you, then definitely do not go to this website called watermarkremover.io. Do not click on upload image. Do not load up the image which we just downloaded. And then once the watermark gets removed, do not click on this download button because that will make you a fucking criminal. It's going to be my fault. So then you go to Blender, and in Blender you press numpad 3 to go to side view, and then you press shift A, you go to image reference, you find your folder with your blueprint, and then you load that into your scene right here. Usually when I load a blueprint, I like to go over here to the side, I check opacity, and I reduce the opacity just to make it a bit more transparent. Then I place it over here on the floor. So in this case, I want my side view image. I want to make sure that that's sitting on top of the y-axis. And then we're also going to push that backwards on the x-axis like this with the 3D cursor at the world origin. We're going to duplicate this. We're going to rotate it by minus 90 degrees in this case. This is going to give us our front view image. So we press numpad 1, then we go to front view. And in front view, we're going to move this image to the side like this. We want it to be centered, and we also want it to be sitting on top of the x-axis in this case. And then once we got that done, then we're going to take the side view image once again, shift A, right click, rotate by minus 90 degrees around the y-axis, and then we go to top view where we take the top view image and we line that up with the center of the world as well. So now you got the reference images ready, so now you can start doing a little bit of modeling. First, you're going to take the default cube, you're going to do X, delete default cube, then shift A, mesh, we're going to add a cube, and let's start from front view. So in this case, the best way to start is to press X in edit mode, click on collapse edges and faces. That's going to turn all your geometry into just one little vertex. So now we can use that one little vertex over here on this little corner, and we can start extruding some geometry from that one vertex. So in this case, we're going to start by following this little line here in the front. So let's just extrude once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. You want to keep your geometry as low as possible at this point. The more vertices that you have here, the harder it is going to be to change the shape of this object. So right now we're just going to keep 4 edges. You can add your subdivision surface modifier if you want to make it a little bit smoother, but 4 edges is enough to give us the shape that we're looking for right now. So once we got this side shape, now we're going to select all this geometry. We're going to go to side view, and we're going to move this forwards like this. We're going to align it with the same point here. We're going to deselect some geometry here from the bottom, move the rest forward on the y-axis like this, and then once we line that up on the y-axis, now we can start extruding this surface. So while we're still in side view, we're going to take this vertex over here, we're going to extrude that once, we're going to extrude that twice, 3 times, 4 times. You still want to keep the geometry here as low as possible, so you want to keep these vertices nicely spaced apart as you follow this white line here. It might be kind of hard to see, but that's how it goes when you don't want to pay for no reference images. And then once you got the rough shape, then you're going to add a couple more vertices here with your loop cuts. And then of course now that looks pretty shitty, so we're going to select this entire segment. We're going to go W loop tool space. If you don't got your loop tools available, you're definitely going to need them, so you have to go to edit preferences. You have to go over here to get extensions. In the get extensions, you have to type in loop. You have to open this up. There's going to be an install button. Once you do that, you got to make sure it's activated in the add-ons section, so look for it here as well, and make sure you check this button right here. And then you're going to have your loop tools. When you press W, they're going to be right here, or when you press N, you can go to edit here, and you're also going to find them on the side there. So anyway, we first use loop tools space to make sure all the edges are equally long, and then we use loop tools relax to sort of make this curve a little bit smoother. You can do that a couple of times, and you might still have to manually adjust the position of some of these vertices to make the curve a little bit nicer. And then we select all this geometry, we go to top view. We now have to line this up with the reference image from top view. So we're first going to place that 3D cursor on this vertex over here at the bottom. Select these vertices over here, select your shear tool, and then you're going to shear this to the side like this. Maybe we have to bring some of this geometry a little bit backwards like like this by scaling it down on the x-axis. And then over here at the top, we have to push this out a little bit further and maybe extrude one more vertex. Let's check what this looks like from front view. When we press 1, you can see it follows this white line pretty well. It's not perfect, but that's because these blueprints are always kind of fucked up, so they look a little bit different from different angles. But fuck it, it doesn't matter as long as it looks kind of like the shape we're trying to accomplish, it's gonna be fine. Then of course we have to go back to side view, and now we have to follow this next line here. So first we're going to extrude this edge outwards a little bit to here, then extrude 1, 2, 3, just a couple of vertices here. The fewer the better at this point, because again it's easier to control. So then we're also going to go through this headlight, because I imagine this is where this white line would go if it continued through the headlight. And then again, once we got the rough shape, now we're going to have to add some more geometry, and of course we have to go to top view first to make sure we push this outwards a little bit. And once we line that up with this white line, then we got the rough shape, which means now we just have to add some more geometry. Now it's very important that we have the same number of edges on this side as we do on this side, and on the front side as on the back side here. So we're going to go up here and open up our viewport overlays menu. We're going to check statistics. That can show you how many vertices or edges you got selected. So if we select the segment right here, it says we got 13 edges selected. So that means we're also going to have 13 edges over here on this side. Currently we just got 5. So let's go W subdivide. That gives us 10. We need 13. So let's just add 3 more loop cuts. And then once we select this edge segment, you can see 13 edges. So once again, we're going to use W loop tool space, loop tools relax. And now we got a pretty decent shape right here. We just need to add some more geometry to the back, because here we currently just got 1 edge, while in the front we have 4 edges. So we're going to add 3 loop cuts here, and maybe we zoom in on that just to make them a little bit more curved or round like this. So we're just going to change the shape a little bit. And then once we do that, you're going to go up here to face, grid fill. It's probably going to give you this shitty result at first, but if you open up the grid fill menu, you set the span to the number of edges on one side. So for example, in this case we can do 4, and then you just adjust the offset until it works. So in this case, as you can see, span 4, offset 8 works pretty well for me. And then you want to do the same thing for the other parts of this car. So we're going to extrude this outwards here. Now we're following this white line, so from front view we're also going to adjust that. Then we take this next vertex here, we're going to extrude that outwards to around here somewhere. We also have to lower that down when we go to side view like this. And then we extrude once, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, fill it in over here at the end. And of course, once again, we have to keep in mind how many vertices we're supposed to have here. So in this case, we're going to have the same number of edges here as we do on the inside over here. So on the inside, we still got 13, while over here we just got 5. So W subdivide, then give me a couple more loop cuts. Again, we select this entire segment, W loop tools space, W loop tools relax. And we're probably going to need more than just 1 vertex here. So let's add a couple loop cuts. Let's add 3 loop cuts here. And then from top view, we're just going to adjust the shape to make this part a little bit curved. And now since we got 4 edges here, we're also going to need 4 edges back here. So give me 3 loop cuts like here. Make sure they're curved just a little bit. We kind of fucked up the shape. You can see that if we look at it from front view, it doesn't look right. So maybe we want to adjust this before we do the fill. So let's scale it to 0 on the x-axis, and let's also rotate it just a little bit like this. And then we're going to dissolve these vertices back here and add a new set of loop cuts, and we're going to push that outwards just a little bit. So now after we mess around with this shape a little bit longer, we're going to be able to get the right shape there. I'm just trying to do a speed run right now just so I can quickly show you guys how you make cars. And then if you're following along with this tutorial, probably you're going to be able to do a little bit more nicely than I'm doing it right now. But anyway, now we take this edge segment over here, we go back up to face grid fill, and as you can see, Blender already knows what he's supposed to do now. Sometimes you don't want to use your grid fill because it's not going to give you a very nice result. Like right now, you can see the geometry doesn't flow too well. So maybe what you want to do instead is fill this with a triangle and fill a couple of these edges over here with some quads. Then we add a loop cut here to turn this triangle into a quad. Then we have to figure out how we're going to fill in this area over here. So first of all, we got way too many edges down here. So at the top, we currently have 9 edges, and down here, we still probably have 13, which means we're going to select 1, 2, 3, 4 vertices. We're going to dissolve them. Then we select this edge segment. We go loop tools space, loop tools relax. And then also we're going to dissolve some of these vertices in the back here, because in the front, we have 2 edges. So now if we just push this edge segment from the front outwards a little bit, just to make it a bit curved, now we should be able to select this entire area over here. And then we go face grid fill. This time we set the span to 2. We adjust the offset a little bit until it works, and there you go. Now we got that right. And if you look at some reference images of this car, there are going to be a lot of parts where you have these sharp seams, but then the sharp seams sort of fade away and disappear. So let me show you how you can do that really quickly. The way to do that is you select the edge segment where you want to have a sharp seam, and of course you end your selection where you want your sharp seam to end. So with Control B, you're going to bevel that. You're going to scroll up once because you want to have a profile shape value of 1 and you want to have 2 segments. Then right now, as you can see, this end here looks pretty shitty, and to make it fade away nicely, you're going to take this vertex at the end here, you're going to slide it to the end with double G, then merge your vertices by distance to make sure you don't have two vertices here. Take this vertex here, you're going to slide that backwards, then dissolve this edge on the inside and slide these vertices here apart a little bit, and maybe you want to slide this back and forth just a little bit so it's not so sharp. And there you go. Now you have your seam which gradually fades away and blends in with the surface. So you're going to need this a lot when you model cars. You might also want to spread these apart to make this part look a little bit nicer, and that's how you make the first part of this car. Now you should be able to finish the front of this car using the techniques that I showed you so far. If you need some more tips about these things, like for example how to model the holes on the front of the car, the ones that you can see over here, or how to make the headlights and all that, I got a couple of reels on Instagram which are going to quickly show you how you can do that. And then if you guys want a more thorough breakdown for how I made the rest of what you can see here right now, and if you want to follow along with my course as I'm pre-releasing it, you can go check out the episodes that I got on Patreon. Right now I got 9 episodes ready and I got more cooking. So if you do want to learn how to model the full car from scratch, you can go check those out in the description. If you want to ask me a question, you can do that on Patreon as well, and I can give you some personalized help. And if you like the video, let me know down in the comments if you guys think I should make some more car modeling videos. Also go follow me on Instagram, subscribe to the fucking channel if nothing else, and I'll see you guys in the next video.